Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of
everybody.
the Sandy Park Club podcast. Sandy Park Club is a podcast that offers you the latest golf news, Sandy Park Club merchandise, local club tournament information, and showcases various guests and products of the golf industry.
Yep.
I have my co-host and member and founder of Sandy Park Club, John Martinez, rocking the fresh, knock the Nike wear.
There it is.
Thing.
Yes.
That thing.
Please don't leave us 100 comments about where you can get Nocta. Ask John.
Right.
We don't know where to get it.
Personally, don't ask the club.
Yeah, don't ask the club. We don't have any Nocta wear for you guys.
We're not sponsored.
But if Nocta, you do want to sponsor us, hey, come with it.
Come over here.
Our other co-host and other Sandy Park Club member, Eloy. And yes, a couple announcements before we get into the podcast. We still do have the Western Gales head cover still going on. So as you continue to watch, we haven't decided when we're going to release that giveaway. But regardless, continue to watch the podcast. We'll be announcing winners. Again, go to the very first podcast so that you will get the most up-to-date information on how to enter. And again,
episode 1.
That's
episode
the head
1.
cover?
What's
You're
that?
talking about the head cover?
The head
Yes.
cover.
The Western Gales one.
The Western Gales one
Gales.
is still
Handmade one.
handmade.
The one of one.
One of one with the
of
Sandy
one,
Park
yes, sir.
Club logo is still available. Again, it's our appreciation for everybody that's been following the podcast. So it's going to be given away on the podcast, at least from our initial conversations. But we just haven't got to that yet. But what are we at? Episode 5. So
Episode 5.
Hosts aren't allowed to enter the...
you can. I don't know how one way it would feel for the audience, but
Smurf account.
yay. But yes, please check out the Western Gales head cover giveaway. Still available. Episode 1 of the podcast, the video version of the podcast, so that way you know how to enter. Again, also our friends from Rapsodo MLM is still giving away $50 off with my code TGM50. Rapsodo MLM is the mobile launch monitor that you can use on the range or during a golf round. It gives you pro level golf launch data in the palm of your hands. Connect your iPhone, iPad, or Android phone to get the data that you need for your strengths and weaknesses of your golf game. And with that, we start off. I think Eloy's going to give us the last PGA Tour stop. I know we're a couple days late, but regardless, we're here now to talk about it.
Yeah, so the last event that just happened over the weekend was the Zozo Championship. It was at Accordia Golf Narashino Country Club in Chiba, Japan. 7,224 yards, par 72.
Light work.
Light work for
Light
John.
work for John again, because John has some big bombs over here. But difficult course for an average golfer.
Yep.
But for John, easy.
Yep. Again, still repping the Mizuno driver with the Bridgestone ball that goes like 350 yards for John. So
Right. Takes me
again,
about 3 shots to get to him.
That's that 200G.
Yeah, exactly. Again, check out the the Mizuno ST.
Nah, I mean, it's old stuff.
So
you guys
what?
want that old
So what?
stuff.
Hey, if
Who
it
cares?
works,
If
it
it
works. It
That-
worked, right?
Okay, no lie. Best driver I've ever hit. And, I'm typically an amazing driver.
Right.
Also, it speaks volumes. I'm
And remind us, it's the Mizuno ST.
ST200G, that one that came in right as they shut the country down and declared
Right.
the pandemic. That one.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Special
the Bridgestone XS golf ball.
Always. That
Always.
Always.
So there you go. You heard it first. And if you haven't had the opportunity to play golf with John, you'll be winded to see his golf ball like 50 yards in front of you. So check out the Mizuno ST drivers along with the Bridgestone XS golf ball. But yeah, some interesting course information where the PGA Tour stop is playing out in Japan. It's the place that Tiger won his 82nd PGA Tour victory, where he tied all-time PGA Tour winner Sam Snead. He won his 82nd PGA Tour victory there in Japan in 2019. We're still waiting for that 83rd win.
Still waiting, Tiger. Still waiting.
I know he's still
recover 100%. Then come back on the course.
MIA still, but we're still waiting for that. And the day 1 recap for the tournament.
So day 1 recap of the tournament. The leader after round 1 was Hiroshi Iwata at -7, and he's actually from Japan, so this is his home country.
Along with Hideki.
Hideki's also from Japan as well. But Joaquin Niemann and Hideki were both tied at 2 at -6. Iwata is a regular of the Japan Golf Tour, where he ranks 13th in the money list and has finished in the top 15 in each of his last 3 starts. Some notable top 10 finishes were the WGC HSBC Championship and the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
All right. I've seen this guy. John, you've seen Hiroshi.
Yeah, it's kind of been. I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah,
but
I haven't heard his name in the greater part of at least 2-3 years. But I mean, he's playing in his home country, playing well day one.
Right, playing well.
Other notable players in the field this week: Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Ricky playing well, also playing well from the week before, which was the Shriners from Vegas.
No, CJ Cup.
I'm sorry, CJ Cup. CJ Cup, right. I'm
Sponsored
sorry.
by BB Co.
Yeah, yes. So, yeah, we still need that sponsor from BBGO. Again,
That's
Xander.
the dumplings, right?
Yeah, so
Well, they got those at Costco. Them shit's fire.
yeah. So we had a little segment of that because they used to have brick and mortar stores, but they closed them down because of the pandemic.
Dude, when I first had BBGO, are we talking about BBGO right now?
We talking about BBGO.
Dude, at
We can
the
talk about
Genesis Invitational a couple years ago, they had
That's where I brought it up.
Dude,
Yes,
oh, man.
fire.
Wow.
But yes, they have moved away from brick and mortar and they're moving into their products that they sell in the store. So you had just mentioned that they
Amazing drunchies right there.
Costco, right?
have Costco.
Great
There you go.
Costco.
Make a stop out to Costco. Get some BBGO products.
Drop some off at my place.
Yeah. Drop some off to our places.
Our places.
Please.
I still want to try it out.
I know. Yeah, Eli hasn't had the chance to try it
I've
yet.
yet to try it. So
Do you have an air fryer?
I do have an air fryer.
Ooh, put those in the air fryer.
Ooh,
Game over.
game
Fire.
over. There it is. I'm gonna have to give that a shot.
Yes, so Xander came out with a couple birdies to start, just like John's Instagram birdie on the first. Hideki is the star because obviously him and Hiroshi coming from Japan. We had Neiman sink a 50-footer and shot 64 at -6, and then Iwata with the 1-stroke lead ahead of everybody at 7 under. So
I'm sure everyone in stateside over here, local to us, watched every minute of the first round.
I know how early that dang
Right.
tournament was.
Sorry to
Yeah,
bore you with all the facts.
I know. I
You already
mean,
know.
it is what it
It
is.
is what it is, right?
Also, don't forget to check out Chippo Golf. Get 15% off by Chippo Golf by using our code TinkerGolfMan. And you can play a unique chipping game at home, barbecue, beach, or outing with your family or friends. So check out Chippo Golf.
John's still waiting for that one-on-one against somebody. He's
Yeah,
still
I
waiting
know.
for that challenger.
Yeah, we haven't had anybody message us about doing that.
Right. John still wants to challenge somebody, so
Right.
let us know. We'll set it up. We'll come to you. We can do it in your front yard or your backyard.
Right.
Go to the park. Go to the beach. I mean, it's a little cold, but hey, it's still SoCal.
No
I know.
more blindfolded games though. I tripped over the board last time.
Well, John automatically gets a 5-stroke penalty for wearing Nocta. So by wearing Nocta, you get a 5-shot advantage in
Right.
Chippo Golf.
In
One
Chippo
on
Golf.
1v1 him.
1v1 him, right?
Yeah, 1v1 him.
So day 2.
Drip penalties.
So we have a new leader after round 2 is Hideki at -8. Cameron Chingale is right behind at -7. Brandon Steele and Matt Wallace tied for third at -6. Weather started getting very cold out there, getting as low as 53 degrees towards the end of the round. 12 degrees for those who aren't stateside. 12 degrees Celsius if you're not
Wow.
stateside, which
That's
is
super
still fairly
cold.
cold.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if I
Rainy
could have finished
day.
a round. Right?
Yeah, rainy
I
day
couldn't finish
players
that.
with rain jackets.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare that it happens here in Southern California, but when it does, we all kind of run away from the golf course
Right,
instead of
right,
wanting to
right.
play. But there are some hardcore guys out there. Yeah, what's your guys' rain gear setup? I want to know what your rain gear setup is. I know that's a rare question to ask somebody down here, but
But for those of you not in Southern California,
right,
what is your setup for the rain?
right, yeah.
Tops, bottoms, shoes.
This
Right.
is actually the top of my rain set.
There-
It's actually rain
he
set.
just got
He
this,
just
so
got this, so
he
he's-
can claim that. but-
Right.
It's good. It's a good rain set.
But
Down
look,
here, it
has
doesn't-
it seen the rain? Has
Have
it
you-
seen
yeah,
the
has it seen the rain?
Has it seen the rain?
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, California, but I definitely would be keeping this in the golf bag, ready for that.
There you go.
There it is. There it
Ready for the
is.
drips.
Literally ready for the drill.
Literally. It is.
Yes, we have Hideki Matsuyama playing well through day 2. Neiman sinks another long putt. Tringali from the USA playing well, almost makes an eagle, but makes a birdie. Still great for him on the 18th hole.
Birdies, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Ricky Fowler, I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to watch the tournament, but he was wearing clear sunglasses.
I saw a picture of Ricky.
Yeah.
I was wondering, were those sunglasses?
I want to know if those were
those prescription glasses.
Right.
I wasn't sure, but they look tight.
I don't know. They
Maybe
were
they're
looking...
green reading glasses.
Ooh.
Maybe.
That's a good observation of that.
Maybe he's got Siri or Alexa in his ear.
Oh, is he mic'd up?
I don't know.
Blue glasses? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but it was interesting.
It was
We'll have a
interesting.
picture up if you guys haven't seen it. But it's Ricky Fowler was wearing these clear
I like them.
glasses.
Let us know in the comments below.
I thought that
What
was
you
looking
thought about
funky.
Is that one of them Kygo joints?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Crew?
I don't know. If you got a new sponsor, maybe. I don't know. But they're looking a little
I gotta
funky to
check
me.
those out.
I mean, if they're prescription, I can't hate on it, and you need them. But if you're just rocking them for the
drip?
for the drip, I
Just
don't
like
know.
John's Nocta.
I know. I don't
Maybe
know.
they're like blue light blocking. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
They had to be polarized.
Yeah.
It was a little
There's the right term. Polarized.
polarized.
Lenses. In the rain.
In the rain. Hey, there's still UV rays coming down.
Hey,
through
that's
the
true.
clouds.
If the sun is out, the sun is
Nah,
out.
even if the sun was blocked by the clouds, UV rays still coming through, man. Science.
Right.
Right. You don't turn the sun off.
Right.
Right. Rays still gonna come through.
Brendan Steele playing well, keeping on top of the leaders, and Hideki Matsuyama was the day two leader.
Right.
Any
So-
thoughts on day 2, Jay?
Day 2. No, it was pretty much like what I seen from day 1.
Yeah.
When I was watching the tournament live.
Live at like 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. So day 3 recap. Leader after round 3 is still Hideki at -10 now. Tringali is still in second at -9. Both Matsuyama and Tringali commented on how the wind was affecting their play, because it was pretty gusty out there, right?
Yeah.
Colin Morikawa was having an up and down kind of a day.
Right.
And then he was asked about his shank on 6.
Big deal, right?
Yeah.
Big deal for a pro to
Yeah.
actually shank a ball.
It happens.
Love to see it.
It happens.
It happens. I mean, average
love
golfers
to
it happens more often than others, but for a pro to actually shank the ball,
Right.
it went straight right.
Hey.
I saw that shot. And
Hazel Rockets.
I was
We
like,
get those.
ooh,
We get
yeah.
those. That's a common occurrence.
Right,
For
so-
any amateur golfer.
Right. But he kind of laughed it off and was like, I haven't done that in quite a while.
Hey, man, it happens.
But it happens.
Right,
Even to
so-
the pros. Even
right.
to the pros, it happens.
Yeah, so we still have Hideki still continuing to shoot lights out. I
Mm-hmm.
think he made I don't know how many birdies day 3. Tringali is looking for his first tour win.
He's still looking.
I haven't heard his name too much come around until more recently. Been on the tour for quite some time.
Yeah, he's a SoCal boy.
SoCal kid,
Yeah, out of, I think, one of the-
Orange County, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't remember what school he went to, but yeah, he's a local kid or local guy now. I wouldn't say kid, but
I had a coworker who was close with his family.
Oh, nice.
I remember
Nice.
back in 2000, early 2010s.
right. His name was
Yeah, him getting on.
Yeah. It was a big deal. But yeah, shout out to Cameron Tringali for keeping on pace with the leaders on day 3. Brendan still continued to play well from day 2 and is still up on the leaderboard. Morikawa playing well, chips in eagle on 18. Hideki shoots 10 under, with Tringali staying on pace with him, hoping for his first win. Again, we trust from buying from TaylorMadeGolf.com. If you're listening to this podcast, head over to our video description or Tinker Golf Man's YouTube channel where you can shop TaylorMade's latest golf product offerings and build loyalty points to get discounted or free TaylorMade products on future purchases.
Become Team TaylorMade.
Yeah.
Right. So day 4 recap. So our winner for the Zozo Championship in his home country of Japan is Hideki Matsuyama at -15.
Yeah, he win everything this year.
Yeah. All right. Cameron Tringali and Brendan Steele finished tied for second at -10. So Matsuyama finished his final round in style by sinking an eagle on 18.
Killing it.
He thanks the fans from his home country for their positive energy. He was able to feed off of it and play well. This marks his 7th PGA Tour win.
Man, it feels like he's 150.
Right. It seems like he's been there for quite a while, but
7.
at
We were
minus
just
15.
talking about his 6th win.
Right.
And
Right.
We were just talking about his 5th win.
Right, but he won minus 15 to minus 10.
It's nice to see it coming around and working for him. Because,
Right.
He puts. You can tell he puts a lot of effort
Mhm.
in his
Right.
swing. We've seen changes in his swing, and the guy throws clubs around, changes clubs around.
Right.
And it's
Mhm.
nice to see like stuff working for him. I'm sure his sponsors are happy to see that.
Right.
Right. He was saying something that right before the tournament, he didn't feel like his game was up to par.
Right.
He's saying that his game was, he would rate it a 1 out of 10.
Wow.
Mm.
He said he wasn't
Well, his
feeling
1
his
out of
best.
10 is 100 out of 10 for us. So.
Right.
I mean,
True,
to feel
true.
like that in the beginning of the week, right, and to just display that kind of discipline, keeping your foot on your neck,
Right.
like no one's foot should be harder on your neck than your own.
You're wrong.
Right.
He was
That's-
saying that he really wanted to show out for his home country.
Right,
You know,
right.
He wanted to win in his home country.
Right.
Because the PGA Tour doesn't go there very often.
Right.
I want to say they make 1 stop, maybe
Yeah.
2 stops a year.
Right.
So he said he wanted to win in his home country, and to be able, so his country would be really proud of him.
Right.
I mean, shoot, I'm pretty sure they're proud of him just being
on the tour and winning the Masters.
right, and then winning the Masters.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So shout out to Hideki.
Shout out to Hideki for winning
going
that.
out, making that eagle on 18.
Mhm.
The rest of them we don't even need to talk about.
Yeah.
Hideki just basically is the story.
Right,
In Japan.
In Japan.
At your home, country.
Home
and,
country.
you
Winning
taking
in
the
style
win.
at minus 15 by 5 strokes.
Right.
It's like, and then just top it off with,
Right.
with that eagle.
I
on
do
18.
remember when I was watching that. I do remember Tringali actually taking the lead at one point.
He did.
He did.
Tringali did
He
take the
did.
lead.
Mm-hmm.
But Hideki just didn't let up. Even
Right.
to eagle the 18th like that.
Right.
That's
He was like, no, this is
Wow.
mine.
Right.
He was like, I'm taking it.
But I think
He took off
Tringali's
with it.
close. I think he's getting close.
He's
Right.
getting close. He's getting close.
Yo, do you guys know man, somebody messaged me this, or actually my good friend Andy. Andy, I still don't know the answer to this,
My
but
good friend.
the Hideki shoes. What does he got? Like some Strixon shoes, or he got something that nobody got.
They gotta be.
I don't even notice them.
I think
they're
they're. I don't know what they are. If anybody knows what shoes Hideki Matsuyama
They
wears,
fresh though.
it's on the louder side of things.
Oh,
so
I'm all about loud.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm all about loud. So
Like they got like.
I don't know the details of the
boosters
shoe,
on them.
but anybody that knows any details on Hideki Matsuyama's shoes, my good friend Andy wants a pair of them, and I don't know where to get them.
right, comment down below if you know where you
comment
got
if you know
them,
where to
how
get
you
'em.
can get them, or who we need to contact. Just comment down below so Andy can come see them.
Right, for sure. I guess another part of the podcast we could talk about is, what do you think, Eloy, on the state of like Nocta and other golf brands like Nike or whoever it may be that are kind of trying to infiltrate golf, where we're getting a lot more of street culture involved into golf. Like we have Malbon Golf, we have all these other upcoming golf brands is kind of infiltrating the market. Do you like that move? What do you think about it?
I mean, I'm all about keeping up with the times.
Sure.
So having all these upcoming, let's say, golf clothing
Sure,
companies,
right.
Come up with different, like loud style clothing.
Right.
I think it's a move.
It's a move.
It's a
Yeah,
move.
I
It's
agree.
different.
I agree.
It brings the young generation into golf.
Right.
A lot of the younger generation is into
Right.
fashion.
Right.
So it's almost it's pretty much a fashion statement when you're
Right.
wearing Nocta.
Right.
I'm not sure if Drake golfs or if he's in it, but
Right.
I mean he has his own golf clothing now.
Right.
He's affiliated with Nike,
Right.
which is a big help to him.
Right.
And there's a lot of people like John who
Right.
wants it. I want it.
I want
And-
it. Everybody wants it. You put a swoosh logo on anything. everybody
Right,
wants
you
it.
put a swoosh logo on it, it's gonna be wanted by
But-
hundreds of thousands of people
Right.
around the world.
Right.
Well, it's a good thing I have a friend like Tinker Golfman here.
Oh, my
Make sure
God.
it laces
Here
me
we
up
go.
whenever I need something.
Here we go.
But yeah, speaking of loud, shout out to Snowman Golf.
Snowman Golf.
Snowman
Hey,
Golf
shout
sent
out to
me
you
this,
guys.
this towel, this hot and cold towel, back towel. Shout out
Do
to
we
you
have
guys.
any info on them? Where they're from? No?
Not quite sure. I
Not
believe
quite
they're
sure,
out of
okay.
Chicago.
Okay.
You can follow them on Instagram. We'll throw the links and everything down below.
Okay.
Thanks for the golf
The
towel.
golf
I need
towel,
a
there
new
you
towel
go.
actually. They do have. They are one of the up and coming companies with the loud.
The louder
The loud
stuff.
work.
Yeah.
They got a couple new shirts. They got the gloves, the hats, the towels.
Right.
So check them out. Snowman
Right.
Golf.
Do they
Snowman
offer
Golf.
any, like, customization? Like,
I don't believe
it's a
they
pretty
do.
sick design on that.
Right.
towel,
It's,
yeah.
I actually, to me, I liked it. Like I said, I'm all about
Yeah, no, that's
loud.
cool.
It's
Loud,
so
making a
weird.
statement on the
making a
golf
statement
course.
on the
Yeah,
golf
there
course.
you
I
go.
want somebody to see it.
Yeah.
From,
We want to see that, but we don't want to see the golf swing. So,
Right. My golf swing's not. It's not
but
butter.
cop the Snowman Golf.
My golf swing's nowhere near as butter as the our good friend Matt Yoon.
Matt Yoon, yeah. So
Right.
So let us
So-
know what golf towel you're using.
Yes.
If you rotate between a couple, or what's your favorite fabric style for scrubbing your balls?
All right.
Oh, sorry.
So, guys, on the next segment of this podcast, we have our great friend Matthew Yoon, who is a golf instructor out of New York and is also a playing professional. So, we're going to have him on the channel virtually, and please take a listen to our interview with Matthew Yoon. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Sandy Par Club podcast. Today, we have a wonderful guest, our friend Matthew Yoon. Matthew Yoon is an active playing professional who competes on the USGA, PGA events, along with mini tours. He spent 4 years NCAA Division II school, Nyack College.
Nice.
Also 2 years competing on the pro mini tours. Previously a full-time player, now turned professional golf instructor out of Long Island, New York. And he's been teaching with renowned golf professionals from California as Dana Dahlquist and George Gankis. And I think I've kind of all seen the crazy stuff that those two instructors are teaching, big time PGA pros, LPGA pros, and along with you, Matt. So Matthew, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just to
pretty
get
cool.
started, you had just mentioned to us you teach out of New York. Where are you originally from?
So, born and raised in Queens,
Oh,
Nice.
Flushing. Grew up playing like the municipal courses around there, Long Island courses, and now just teaching full time.
Got it. And you had just mentioned just before we started the podcast that your backyard is Bethpage.
Yeah, I grew up playing there maybe like 4 times a week.
4 times a
Wow.
week. Black course
Yeah.
or across the other ones?
Well, so they always have the state open there. So when I played in that event, it'd be probably like 10 to 15 rounds there a year.
Wow.
But they have like 5 courses there, so
They do.
all the other courses are pretty nice too.
Right. Yeah, I've had the great opportunity. Shout out to my friend Scott who lives out by you. Because non-resident tea time is always hard to come by out there. So yeah, we had a resident book us a tea time out there, and I've only
Nice.
played black. And we made me and a good friend of mine who's another PGA professional down here made the mistake of walking instead of getting a push cart, and it was a trek.
Ooh, I can't do that.
Yeah,
one.
Archie.
That's a tough
Yeah.
course to walk.
Yeah, so our previous guest, Roman Gonzalez, who's also PGA Pro, we both walked it, and my God. One of the
it's a tough
toughest
one.
tracks to...
I can't
do you walk or do you push car when you go
yeah,
out there?
So growing up, we'd probably walk it, maybe 36 holes one day. We would do that.
Wow.
Now, as I'm getting older, I guess push carts the
That's the move, right?
That's the play.
Right. So I guess to get started, Matt, one of the big questions is, why transition from golf, competitively to now teaching, and why have you made that transition?
So a couple of reasons. Main thing was I got into a bit of an accident down in Florida.
Oh wow! Okay.
It was a bit of a freak accident. I was driving down the freeway, and then this metal hook slammed through my windshield when I was going
Oh.
70. Yeah, and then it hit me in the
Jesus.
face.
Oh,
So I was out for a couple months, and at that time, that was when I recently met Dana for the first time,
Oh, wow.
and that kind of I got into that little rabbit hole of mechanics and kind of sequencing stuff, and I thought that was very interesting. So Even when I was playing full time, I was a super technical guy.
Right.
Always tinkering, experimenting, and that side of the sport really intrigued me. So after meeting Dana, I kind of wanted to learn more, and I didn't want to leave the golfing world.
Sure.
So I guess I hopped onto the teaching side, and I really liked it. So I kind of made that my full time thing.
Nice. That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
Do you have any like specific teaching philosophies that you use now that throughout your work?
So I used to be super into like technical position stuff, and I learned that if you try to put players, especially newer players, into positions, it takes out the athleticism. And golf's a sport, so you're trying to, move, but like hit positions, but athletically, dynamically.
Sure.
And so when I see somebody come, instead of working positional stuff, we would do a lot of movement, kind of dynamic stuff. Because if you teach somebody how to move athletically, you can worry about the positions later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you see people on the range. They have like a lot of them have good positions, but there's no like athleticism in it.
Right.
Makes sense.
So I feel like if you can teach somebody to move athletically, all the other things are kind of easier to get.
Right.
Nice. So you heard it here first. Golf is a sport, and you are athletes. If you are
It is a
golfers.
sport, especially if you're trying to move the club like at ridiculous speeds, like a Bryson or like a Josh Koch. They're
Right.
like world class athletes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on that, Matt, in terms of, you just mentioned Bryson, a lot of golfers now and even amateurs want to get into the belief that speed longer, is better. Do you believe in that philosophy, or do you kind of like the idea more of, if we can finesse the game with a better swing, less of the trying to bomb it 400 yard situation? Where do you kind of fall onto that category in terms of?
Well, I think there has to be a happy medium.
Sure.
All of that speed is good, but if you can't, at the end of the day, if you don't make the putt, if you don't hit the greens,
Right.
you're not scoring.
Right.
Yeah, Dana and I had an interesting conversation the other day. The average swing speed on tour is about 113 or 114, but if you go to the last event of the FedEx Cup, the East Lake,
Right.
their swing speed average is 117. People there,
Right.
So there's the proof for the data,
Right.
showing the importance of speed.
Got it.
Wow. So I know you're teaching now, but do you still play competitive golf?
So I took about like 6 years off competing.
Okay.
Focused on the teaching part. Well, I've been teaching for about 3-4 years now. The other 2 years, I guess I was just kind of doing playing lessons. So I don't know if that really counts.
Okay. And then just to clarify for our audience, a playing lesson is when you do what?
Is when I take like juniors out to the golf course,
Okay.
kind of teach them course management and kind of give them exposure. Because learning the golf swing is one thing, but actually learning to play the game is
Sure.
another thing.
Different
Yeah,
lives.
especially like So especially like competitive golf.
Right. And are you still doing that component of golf now, or are you less of that and more so the instruction?
Yeah. The playing part takes a long time playing 18 holes.
Sure. Of course.
I'm at the range probably doing like 50 to 55 hours of lessons a week. So I don't have much time to play.
Right.
But I did play in my first event. I did play in a couple of qualifiers this year. I played well at the Long Island Open.
Okay.
I came in, I made the cut, finished 18th. So I'm
wow, congratulations.
Congrats on that.
So,
It's still a feat in itself.
Thanks. Yeah. So I'm trying to definitely maybe take more time off next season and play more.
Right. Got it.
Nice.
Do you have any key tips that you like to start any amateurs with when they approach you for playing lessons?
For playing lessons or swing lessons.
Right.
Swing lessons.
Swing.
So I think it's very important to learn how pressuring moves. So I think if somebody learns from like the ground first, it makes the things a lot easier
Sure.
because you can relate like golf swing movement to like other sports, like
Right.
throwing a ball, throwing a frisbee, or throwing something heavy.
Right.
You know, it's you know, you can do it more efficiently if you use the ground correctly.
Right. Okay.
So I have them do a lot of like movement drills in terms of like pressure shifting, weight shifting, whatever you want to call it.
Right, right.
And then we start with like half swings from there. So if you can learn how to move like pressuring first, I think it makes learning the swing a lot easier.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting thing you've said. I don't think we've heard. I mean, I've heard it, but I don't think the broader audience knows that the golf starts from the ground up, not from hands down.
Exactly.
No, I think that's a great point that you brought up, Matt, in terms of, you know, letting our audience know that, the game starts from the bottom up, using the ground. You know, we've heard that with the top players and top instructors across, you know, being used. So, interesting comment on being able to use the ground first and then working on smaller swings to move up.
Right, I see that, like the long drivers, right? You see like
Right.
Shire, he does that little
Right.
goes right to his left, right
Well,
to his left.
if you look at like a Rory too, you'll see a
Sure.
little bit of movement before he starts. He has that little trigger move.
Right,
That's him doing the same thing, just more of a toned down version.
Right,
Gotcha.
right.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right now, is there a golfer that you would say that you would have an audience member say that you would follow? Golf
A
swing.
golfer that I would follow.
Yeah. Like maybe somebody that you would like, okay, that's a golf swing that you should mimic, or do you kind of go on like each person's, you know, different kind of mechanics that you need to work on?
I mean, if everybody can swing like Rory, why not?
Okay.
But not everybody can do that, and I guess that's the important thing for like a coach to try and figure out.
Right.
Learn people's like limitations and what they can or cannot do, and try to work like as best as you can with what they have.
Gotcha.
Got it.
So I won't, if I have someone that's like super flexible and very young, I'll try to have them create a lot of separation and have like add a lot of dynamic movement. But for somebody that's like in their 60s or 70s that
Right.
don't have enough range of motion, I can't try and teach them the same thing.
Right. Gotcha.
True.
Mhm.
So getting back to the students, young or old, what's one thing that you know that they do that pinches your nerve, like something that just it'll irk you like so bad that you're just like, oh, I can't with you right now.
What grinds your brain?
I mean, I think teaching definitely has taught me to be patient.
Sure.
But I feel like for some reason, whoever comes to me, they always have the idea of thinking they have to stay still when they swing. Like stay very still, keep their head down, stay super centered.
Right.
When like in actuality, you're actually moving a lot,
Right.
but you're moving within boundaries. I
Right.
should say.
Right.
Nice.
Interesting.
Right.
Matt, I saw on your bio on your webpage. Please visit Matt's webpage, Matthew Yun. Is it Matthew Yun Golf?
It's Matt Yoon Golf
Matt Yoon
at
Golf.
matthewgolf.com.
.com. That you utilize some tools, K-Vest and TrackMan. Explain to us
Also,
what.
I should update that. I don't use TrackMan anymore, so I use the
okay.
Squad now.
Foresight.
Foresight, yes.
Foresight, yes.
wow,
Yeah, so we have a great friend who works out of there. I think they've been our great friend Jerry, who's been working on that product for some time now. But explain to us those two tools then. What do you use K-Vest for? What is K-Vest? I'm not familiar with it. And
So K-Vest, well, it's a vest you kind of put on. It kind of connects to a computer.
okay.
It kind of
Okay.
gives you like basic information on like the rate of rotation or kind of just basic numbers like degrees and stuff.
Got it.
I don't use it too much now.
Okay.
I did use it a couple times before.
Sure.
It's more GC Quad, and I'm looking to maybe invest in like a swing catalyst or like a
Sure.
gas system.
Right.
And I think it's super important because back in the day, all these like instruction was based off 2D, like what you see in a video.
Right.
But now you have all this like technology where you can actually see 3D things, like
Right.
how the body's actually moving, or how pressure and how mass is moving.
Right.
So I think at the moment, golf is in a really good place in terms of instruction. And I think within the next 5-10 years, there's going to be a whole nother like I guess you can say, maybe like a revolution
Yeah,
in terms of like golf instruction.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I think just a second that I think a proponent of that is social media has kind of blown up. A
Yeah.
lot of people are now like knowing who to go to instead of trying to finagle if you're kind of coming into the game and not knowing where to go, and just people learning off of what you guys I've seen your Instagram page, and it's a beautiful swing.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Would you say, is it, if I'm understanding right, do you feel like golf is becoming easier to learn with the
I definitely
technology
do
that's
think
coming
so.
out?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you just look at 2D stuff, you're basically guessing or kind of
Right.
experimenting.
Sure.
Mhm.
It's like trial and error.
Right.
But with all this 3D stuff, you can actually like pinpoint each like movement.
Right.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I think technology and getting more people that are getting interested in golf get to you guys and talking to somebody about it and breaking the barrier. I think social media technology and where that's going, like you said, is going to be a revolutionary thing in the next
Yeah.
Most
5
definitely.
years.
Very exciting.
Mhm.
Very exciting.
Um,
So, very, very important question. I'm sure
Okay.
you get asked
Okay.
this a lot. And,
Hmm.
with such a nice, perfect swing that you, often provide your viewers and us, what's in the bag right now?
Oh, so I actually changed my equipment for the first time in like 6 years. I wasn't competing. I didn't need anything like
Nothing
because I wasn't
major,
really
yeah.
playing.
Right.
so,
Right.
Beginning of the season, I put the Sim 2 in the bag.
Everybody's
Oh,
talking about Sim
everybody.
2.
Everyone is-
Yeah,
Sim
they're
Talk
they're
has it.
they're very delicate though. I've been
Sure.
doing a lot of speed training on them. I
Right.
think I'm on my 4th one right now.
Wow.
Oh,
They
wow.
like cave in very
Yeah.
easily.
Really?
So I have the Sim 2 in the bag. The irons are Strixon, the
Okay.
ZX7s.
Those are the newer ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep up with Strixon. Shout out to my friend, our friends
Yeah.
out at Strixon, but
Yeah.
they come up with so much good stuff. It's hard to keep up with everything they're
Yeah.
coming out with.
The irons are solid.
Okay.
I'm using the Cleveland. I forgot which model it is.
Sure.
Cleveland wedges.
Okay.
The putter is an old Bobby Grace putter.
Ooh.
I do not know the model, so
Okay.
don't ask. The wood is a 3-wood. Is the old X Hot Deep 3-wood.
Ooh. Wow.
deep base.
Original
Callaway.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a couple years.
I can't get rid of it. It's like
It's fine.
Henrik Stenson. He can't get rid
You
of
can't get rid of it, right?
I can't get rid of my 3-wood.
Right,
It's
right.
If,
good.
if you're hitting it
Yeah.
straight still and it's still reacting properly, why get
Yeah,
rid
Why
of it?
change?
Yeah,
Why
there's
change?
no need
Keep
to.
it. There's no need to. Right.
And then
Same
golf
here.
ball you're playing right now?
At the moment, I'm using the Pro V1s.
Pro V1. Always been a Pro V1 user, or did you switch? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up, I played Pro V1, and I tried the TPs. I didn't really notice a huge difference. So I just
Okay.
stick with titles.
Yeah, there you go. So you just mentioned there, Matt, that you hardly change your equipment. So,
Mhm.
so our audience, we have friends all the time that want the latest and greatest. I mean, obviously, that's not, in reality, not everybody can afford the latest and greatest. So, do you kind of fall into that category of telling your audience and also your students, do you need the latest and greatest?
I don't think so. As often as like they come out with new things very often.
Right, right,
I don't think there's a huge gap
Sure.
year by year.
right,
So if you're like 4 or 5 years behind, I'd
Right.
say it's not a huge priority.
right.
Mhm.
But I tell all of my players that it's not the arrow, but it's the Indian.
It's
that
in,
shoots it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
But I think that's the biggest thing that we always get is people want the latest and greatest, and of course we want to be able to provide those new things to everybody informational wise. But you heard it here again, another professional player and instructor telling you that you guys don't need the latest and greatest
You
technology.
can still play.
You can still play.
Hand-me-down clubs.
Yes.
Clubs
Oh,
under
yeah.
the garage sale.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're just starting out.
Exactly.
Right?
exactly.
You don't need
So
to
if-
have the
if
latest and greatest for someone who just started.
Right.
Yeah. So if I have a new player come, I have them like just maybe buy like a 7-iron from like a secondhand whatever like website,
Sure.
Mhm.
and then once they get their like basic movement down, and if they want to really like invest in a set of clubs, I'll have them go get fit.
Right?
Got it. So, are you a big proponent of getting, if you're serious about your game, getting fit for your golf equipment?
Oh yeah, of course. If you walk into like a shoe store, you wouldn't just not look at the size and
Right.
just buy any shoe. You have
Right.
to get one that fits you. Because
Right.
everybody's different.
Right. Which one are we at?
This whole thing.
Question is, how's your golf game?
Ooh,
Ooh.
it's
I'm
so.
not talking about mine.
I played to a 10.
We're at 10 now?
I play to a 10.
Oh, yeah.
John plays. He's a
Nice.
single.
Good
So
golfer.
he plays to.
Like an 8.
He plays to a 6 to an 8, and then
I'm
Eloy.
at a 14 right now.
He's at a 14. But
That's solid.
he'll have his days that he'll get down there and
I'll
shoot
shoot
a
a-
solid 80.
Yeah, I'll shoot a solid 80, then the next one's I'm
Solid. That's
above
solid.
100.
Right. Matt, what's your all-time favorite golf course? Doesn't have to be the one that that you're local to, but anyone that you would say out
A
there.
memorable one.
Yeah.
To you.
So, in 2015, they had the MGA Ike at Friars Head.
Okay.
So that I guess that'd be top.
Okay.
And there's another one. It's tied for first. They had the Met Open at Wingfoot.
Wingfoot. Yeah.
So,
Yet to
so
go.
Wingfoot
Yeah.
and Friars Head would be the top.
And Friars is where in your neck
It's-
of the woods?
Way east, out near the Hamptons. Out near the
Okay.
Hamptons. Yeah.
There you
the
go.
other side of us.
Do you prefer to teach someone who's 100% new to golf, or do you prefer like a student who kind of has like a rap on it?
Well, so I guess preference is, I guess not the correct term. It's definitely easier to have somebody that really understands what
Sure.
I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I have somebody that's completely new to the game, I have to kind of explain everything in depth and kind of take it really slow so that they actually understand it.
Right.
So I guess it's not really a preference. It's more, there is more energy going into kind of teaching a newer person, newer player.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Man, that makes perfect sense. Right, because you're
Matt-
not spending extra hours telling them what golf
Yeah,
is.
Right.
because you just have to explain everything.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, in terms of that, do you have some sort of kind of golf knowledge that you kind of put somebody on if they have, bare minimum knowledge about the game, or do you kind of have them kind of do that on their own to kind of learn more about the game and have that understanding?
So, yeah, when they're new, I don't want to overload them from the start.
Sure.
I don't want them to I don't want them to hate the game.
Sure.
I don't want them to think, oh, there's so much things I have to learn, or
Right.
this is too hard.
Right.
Basically, the first session would be trying to basic movement, the pressuring stuff I talked about before,
Right.
and I want them to have fun.
Right.
I want them to like it. I don't want to push them away from it. I don't want them to be intimidated by the game. So I try to ease them into it. It's more fun first because you're doing it to have fun.
Right.
course.
You don't
Right.
want to kind of stress yourself out.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Have you
So I
developed
think that's pretty
any-
important.
I'm sorry. Have you developed any like simple strategies that like have come organically through your own teaching, or maybe some stuff that you've taken in your journey learning the game and teaching the game? Is there anything that's stuck out to you, or stuff that you've maybe dawned on that made so much sense and you find it working with your students? Any kind of simple strategy or anything like that?
Yeah. So I feel like going back to athletic movement and not worrying about positions. When I have people like lose, I guess this kind of really doesn't make sense, but I have them feel like they lose control of the club.
Sure.
So instead of controlling the movement, I want it to swing pretty freely.
Sure.
So a drill that really helps a lot of my players is when I have them start the swing in motion. So I'll have them hover the club.
Okay.
They'll kind of swing it. So for a righty, they'll swing it left first, and then use that to create momentum and bring it back and have them swing through hit the ball.
Right.
And they notice immediate improvement in terms of flow, tension, and also speed.
That must help a lot with, when you're giving them drills and position drills. It's easy, right? To see them slow down, and that's Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
exactly.
You keep
It's-
them moving since the golf swing for the most part is constantly moving. Yeah.
If you see guys on tour, they don't look like they're swinging like completely out of their shoes. There's a certain flow to it. So I think that's a very important word and very important thing to learn is to learn how to move the club with flow, and you can't really do that if you're trying to hit positions.
Right.
I should have been taking notes. Man. I should have been taking
Take
notes for
notes from
this.
Matt now.
So
Right.
it's a lot of flow and momentum stuff.
Right.
Okay.
There you
There's
go.
a lot of effort taken into making your swing look effortless.
Right. For sure.
Oh, you should. I wish you saw my swing back when I played in college. I
Oh.
used to be like the player that would hit like 6 or 7 greens, but then like I'd come out with like a 74, like a 73, 75.
Please send us a
But
video.
yeah.
of that swing.
man,
Yeah, you
I'm
can send us a
so
clip that we could air.
Do it before and
but
after.
now, like
Yeah.
it's like the opposite. I don't get much time to work on my short game. I don't play much, but like since I'm living at the range, when I have free time, I'll hit some balls.
Right.
And through that, it's helped me kind of improve a lot of my movement stuff.
Right.
So like when I play now, it's like 13, 14 greens. It's a different way of playing,
Right.
and that's why it's kind of it made me want to compete again
Right. That's good.
because I'm playing the game completely differently than what I used to do.
Well,
back
yeah.
in the day.
What's the next coming up? Do you have any competitions coming up?
No, so New York, it gets cold, so
Yeah.
no events over there.
Right.
I'm working on an indoor space in Long Island.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be able to do my lessons indoors during the winter.
Right.
Maybe a trip down to Florida for a couple weeks to kind of work on my game.
Yeah.
But
nice.
that's about it.
Got
Come
it.
back out here to Southern California.
Yeah. Well, he's
Oh, yeah.
he's in San Francisco
You're in
right
Frisco now,
but he
but-
just
Yeah.
left Long Beach a couple weeks ago. So
Right, so come back
that's
down to
what
Long
triggered
Beach
me
and,
to reach out to Matt. But
Yeah,
Come play
well,
golf
next
here
time I
year
go,
round.
we'll definitely play.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
let us know.
Definitely.
We'll set
Let us
something
know.
up.
I haven't played El Dorado yet.
Oh, you've only come for a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk to Dana. Yeah, Eldo is I'm pretty sure you've heard, but they do one of the courses there for Long Beach
Long
Open.
Beach Open.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So that's one of the ones that they'll set up pretty big for a lot of the guys that try to make some tournaments happen down here. But yeah, there's so many golf courses around the world. We definitely want to share it with anybody and everybody. But any questions for us on our front, Matt?
Oh no. How long have you guys been doing the podcast stuff?
Oh, we just started. You are our 5th episode.
This will be our 5th episode.
Yeah, so we just started, but we've been doing, like I said, I had mentioned to you earlier, we've been doing Sandy Park Club, which is a golf club that we run with members and guests for monthly events for the last greater part of 4 years now, and kind of growing that, got the podcast. We have a lot of friends. Obviously, you're familiar. This part of the golf world. A lot of the big boys are down here: TaylorMade, Srixon, Cleveland, Callaway. So we kind of have friends a little bit everywhere, and they all play golf in the same areas. So
That's awesome.
we try to get everybody and anybody involved into the podcast. So thank you for taking the time. And I think Eloy has one last question, but I don't think
Anything else, John?
anything from John's end.
I'm excited to come watch this guy swing.
I know.
Maybe take
I
a
know.
lesson, and I want to know what it feels like to hit 13, 14 greens.
Right.
Seriously.
That's some
It
serious.
does make it a bit more boring.
Okay.
Ah,
So that's
Yeah,
another.
yeah.
So that is one of the weird
Yeah,
questions that I
yeah.
have about golf because we now we're getting to the point where golf is becoming with the longer distance. Do you think where golf is getting boring? If we're seeing a drive that's 350 yards and it's a par 400 yards, 450, and the guys are using flip wedge to get it.
Not if it's me.
Not if it's you, but as a viewer
Right.
of golf, do we think
trying to
that?
control a trajectory? So, I mean, hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah. So you're still hitting like wedges, trying to control distances.
Sure.
Right? But now like you see guys taking these like ridiculous lines.
Right.
People are not used to seeing.
Right.
I think there's this new kind of sort of excitement to the game too.
Right.
Now it's more of like instead of like people saying, "Oh, it's an old man sport."
Right.
It's more of like a sport now, an athletic sport.
Right.
Athletes again,
So
we're
I think-
athletes.
Exactly. We're all athletes.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's pretty exciting, especially with what Bryson's doing.
Sure.
Definitely helping the long drive community. I think it's
Right.
all great for the game.
Right. Right.
great,
Definitely. Well, I think.
So usually
Eli,
I like to end the interview with a simple question of words of wisdom. What are words that you live by, or that that you've heard? Doesn't have to be golf related.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of like phrase or saying that you like to live by?
Any mantras?
Mantra that you
Yeah.
like to just share with the world?
I used to grow up telling myself this, even like during like bad rounds or just bad parts of my life. My coach growing up used to say this to me all the time: just stay positive and good things will happen.
Stay positive
Stay
and things will
positive.
happen. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Here, stay
Yeah.
positive.
Well, guys, that concludes our interview with Mr. Matthew Yoon. Check him out on Instagram. He has a beautiful golf swing. It goes by Matthew Yoon Golf
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. And then his website again is mattyoongolf.com. And we'll have those up on
Description
the
below.
description, and we'll have it up on the screen once this is published. So thank you, Matt, for all your time.
Thank you,
and
Matt. Thanks
we
for
will see
joining
you
us.
guys on the next one. So, guys, welcome back to the Sandy Park Club podcast. Thanks again to Matthew for his wonderful insight about golf teaching and where he wants to go into the golf world.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are in the New York area, take a visit and take a look at Matthew Yoon, golf professional out in New York. To close out the segment, we have a couple more announcements. And Eloy, do you want to go ahead and take that on?
So we have the next major tournament, which is October 28th to October 31st. The Bermuda Championship at Port Royal Golf Course in Southampton Parish, Bermuda.
I don't even know where that's at.
Bermuda?
I
Bermuda.
don't even know where that's at.
That's on an island somewhere.
I think it's near Aruba, Bahama.
I've been to the
I would
Bahamas.
say
Baby,
that one,
Bahama.
towards that way.
Yeah, hey.
So it's a par 71,
Just kidding.
6,842 yard.
Me and Eli got a chance against
We got
John.
a chance. We can actually keep up with John on this
if
one.
we ever go there.
Are they only playing 9 holes?
Yeah, seriously.
Right, seriously. But fun note, there are 500 FedEx Cup points available to the winner and a 2022 Masters berth on the table.
Y'all should try to Monday qualify.
Oh, man.
So, I mean...
Matthew Yoon.
Matthew, you know...
Get
or
out there.
PJ, come fly us out there. Let's
Right.
give us a chance.
Right.
I just want to go to the Masters.
Yeah.
I just want to watch.
Dude, winning in paradise and then winning
but-
yourself a spot to golf paradise.
I will finish in last place just to play in the field.
Right.
I'll be the playing marker.
Right,
I'll be the
right.
playing marker. I wouldn't even care about my score.
Right.
Island golf is fun. I grew up. I started the game playing, on an island, and man, loved it. Missed it.
Facts.
Facts, right. I just want to go to the Masters. Y'all need audio, pictures, something? Send me out there. I would love to just go to the Masters, watch somebody win a green jacket.
Right.
Are they still doing the match? Like the next?
Yeah.
Match?
The match is coming
The
up
match is
November
coming up.
26th.
Yes, sir.
So the match, Brooks Koepka versus Bryson DeChambeau. Again, don't forget, 12-hole match, November 26th at the Wynn Golf Club in Las Vegas. We want to know, please leave us a comment. Are you Team Koepka or Team DeChambeau? We want to know. Please leave us a comment so we can get you some more content around that event coming up. Also, Sandy Park Club news. We don't have a tournament this month, unfortunately. We're going to be reserving the next tournament, hopefully for November, just to give some time for everybody and all the families that are kind of catching up and hadn't had the time to come play golf. So allowing our members and our guests to be able to do something else than play golf this month. But hopefully November we'll get something back on the board. Outside of that, again, thank you guys for watching the podcast. And if you're just listening, also take a listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast, we're published on all of them big boys. So check us out. Thanks again for our friend Matt Yoon to
Thank
be
you,
on
Matt. Thank
our
you.
podcast this episode. And we'll catch you guys on the next
Catch
one.
you on the next one.